Hello everyone and welcome to the LSI F1 EU Championship. We're today for round 1 out of 16, Season 8. Welcome back, ladies and gentlemen. We're at Italy, Monza. It's going to be a very interesting start to the season. I am sure of that. Now, we do have quite a few people on the grid today, and some new faces, some old faces, and a returning face as well. This is Vale, is back in the EU tier. We got this new driver right here, his teammate, who goes and sets the P10 on debut. Alfie gonna do his best today, just get the race done, get some experience. I should say, what I've just seen is that Cohen has retired from qualifying already. A 20.1 is the only lap they've set. That's not ideal.
Yeah, that's not ideal at all. I mean, I think he just dropped out of the second Lesmo and he's already in the wall. And with a 20.1, that's him out of the session already and he can't improve. Meaning the best he's going to get is third, which is not a great start to his campaign and his hopes to win the title this year. Yeah,
not ideal. Cohen is still got a lap on the board, so that at least helps a little bit. But with a lap like that, he's going to be looking at like mid-pack, so he's going to be in the worst place to start a Grand Prix around Italy especially. So Cohen's just got to pray here, and you never know, it can definitely go his way. It's a long race, and of course we've got quite a few people on the grid, so anything can happen. We could get a bit of a mix-up. Safety cars could also be a factor. We are Frantic currently setting the pace. Their teammate is Bassoon from last season. Of course, those guys are going to be a very strong pairing. Mizzy stays at Mercedes. Gibby joins them, moving away from Aston Martin. No one is actually a permanent driver at Aston Martin. We've got Heisler as an F1 driver now, who is obviously not able to qualify. They are reserving in today's race. Benjamin stays at Ferrari. Benjamin moves to be with the P2 driver in the championship. So that's P1 and 2 in the last season's championship, both in that Ferrari team. They're going to be a very strong pairing. Then, of course, Cohen, JJ's not here unfortunately. We've got Robbo, Dave Raptors, Lalek Zora. Then we've got Vinyl Cookie on his own at Haas, Neil Diamati on his own at McLaren. I think that's about everyone. Don't know why I just listed all of that, but I did. We now have Mizzy, who is about to start a lap. Zingy, would you be able to take us through a lap, if that's at all possible, with Mizzy?
Yeah, sure can try. Into this last corner here, just before you start, you want to get a good one, turn that ERS on, which I think he's turned it on a bit late, which can compromise your run a little bit, but it won't cost you too much overall. Over the start-finish line, you want to open the DRS as soon as you possibly can, minimising the time loss and try to get an edge over your opponents. As the lap time is very short around here, into turn 1, you want to break around the 100-metre board, get the car nicely on the curb there, but do not hit the little sausage bit in the middle, as you will get thrown out towards the side. Out of turn 2, he gets a very good exit along this long turn 3. You just need to keep the car as straight as possible, minimal turning, but also stay to the right hand side to keep that track distance as short as you possibly can. Into the chicane now, he rides it very well, but he goes a bit wide. He's in the gravel and now he spins. Is he going to abandon the lap? It doesn't look like it. Coming into the first of the Lesmos, you want to run the car out as wide as you possibly can here and into the second Lesmo. You don't want to run it out as much as that can happen and he's backed off his lap.
That's not what we want to see. It's not the worst thing though. They do have still time left in this session. You could be in Cohen's position, so they still got another opportunity. And it's better to react now and abort the lap so you get more time later on in the session. So not the worst thing to happen to them right now, and I was expecting that to happen. Passoon goes pole, and that is an AlphaTauri 1-2, 2/10 apart there, so not too far away. Frantic is on a lap. I think this is an actual lap, it's not a bug lap, and it's an actual out lap. This is an actual timed lap as they're going to the left hand side of the circuit. Interestingly, it's not going to be an improvement. I think they're going again, so they were opening up the lap one more time. We'll see what they can do as they head into turn 1. Of course, this is Vale retiring from the session as they retire on the exit of turn 10. So that's an interesting one. Was that on their first time lap, or was that out lap? It looks like a first time lap.
Yeah, I mean, these mistakes are going to be costly, especially in Monza turn when you don't need to be mixed up in that mid-pack. If there's been proper F1 in the game, it can be absolutely chaotic. And these guys taking too many risks to try and get up the top of the field, is it worth? Because I know you're quite known for this, Aaron. Is it worth just maybe staying back? I have my opinions, but I do want to hear yours.
Yeah, I think it could be a strategy for some people, of course, but I don't know. It's probably better to just try and avoid as much as you can by going as high as you can if you have the confidence that you can get further up the grid. And of course, the chances of safety cars is very, very high. So either way, if you are at the front or the back, you're probably still going to have a very good chance at doing well in this race. It's just if you manage to stay out of trouble in the opening phases. Frantic backs off that lap immediately. They don't go to set it. We've got Ben in P6.
Yeah, Ben is championship winner from last season in P6 at the moment. And just a reminder for people that might have not picked up on it already, as Aaron said, these guys are top 2 in the championship when they join team. So rather than fighting against each other, they're sort of in a way cooperating against each other. I mean, these guys are both very understanding of each other. They raced, a whole season last season. Even if they weren't having a good race, they always seem to be on pace with each other. So it shows that these guys have a very good skill set and are able to make the most out of any situation, which could be good, especially in dire situations. And I believe that these guys can really do something and maybe challenge these really fast AlphaTauri for the constructors.
Yeah, for sure. Something that I do want to quickly just put out there, bit of a wild thing. Cohen, he said that he predicted that he could put a 19.3 in, and from what I've seen in time trial, he was not too bad either. So I think Cohen, if the times don't get to 19.3, that's what we may have been able to see. But right now, he's just waiting, counting down the time and hoping that it doesn't go further. Alfie retires. That's another retirement, and that's on the exit of turn 5.
If you go on Final Cookie, you'll be able to see it, I think.
Yeah, so he's just binned it on the exit. I don't know if it's on the gravel or if it's on the curb, on the inside curb that he's hit. It looks like it's probably the gravel. Tried to catch it, and unfortunately, that is them done. We've got Dave Raptors on the lap right now. He's currently in P8. 20.6 is his time. He's got a 3/10 to catch to his teammate to displace him, and then another 2/10 on top of that to get to Benjamin. So they've got a lot of work to do if they want to get further up the order, and they've invalidated again. So unfortunately for Dave Raptors, he's going to have to rethink and come back very, very soon. Anything else? It looks like Vinyl Cookie is on a lap. Let's see what they can do. I think this might be a starting lap for them. It will be. Let's see what they can do. Currently in P11 outside the top 10. Zingy, I have a bit of a quiz for you. First of all, first question I'm going to ask, how many turns are at this circuit?
Can I count the map?
Go for it.
Okay, 1, 2. I want to say 11 or 12.
Pick one.
Can I ask a counter question?
No, just pick
12.
one. Just pick one. No, it's 11. What a shame. One final question, and I need to know this because I'm not quite sure about it myself. When is the pit window? That's the real quiz question.
Oh, you don't actually know?
No, I've completely forgotten.
Okay.
It's around about lap 14 to 16, I assume.
No, it's from lap 15 to 18. I picked lap 14 because I had my damage, of course.
Sorry, I was.
But they can still make it.
Yeah, I was on about the medium because obviously I was watching Sidewinder. My bad there.
Right. Yeah, medium 4. I think maybe. No, it was more like 12 or something. Would it not be? Because he extended this. He extended the medium tire so much.
Fair enough. Maybe he did. So I don't know then. So it what? 15 to 18, did you say? Was that?
For hard tyres, yes, and for medium, that's presume it's like 12 to 14, 15.
Okay, awesome. We'll check that out. Pursoon goes for a bit of a pirouette, loses their front wing. By the time they get to the pit lane, they might not be able to get another time lap in, so they've got to be really careful. They're frantic. invalidating their lap time. The pressure is getting to these guys. They're just not able to put the valid laps in, and that is currently what is crippling them from improving. Gilly is on the lap, and they haven't invalidated yet, so Gilly might be able to put some pressure on the guys ahead, depending on how much they're improving. It's a 10th at the moment, so it would be enough to get to a P3, not to a P2 just yet. They need a bit more time. Gilly, we know, is so quick in a straight line, but as this circuit, the nature of the circuit, it forces everybody to go low on the downforce, which makes it virtually impossible for Gilly's setups to have an advantage. However, he goes across the line and puts himself into P3, 1.5 tenths, just missing out on the 0.8s there.
Yeah, Gilly's setting a decent lap there, but only puts himself P3. AlphaTauri's looking absolutely rapid, however. They are very prone to mistakes, as you said before. And who was it? It was Frantic, you said, had a bit of front wing damage, or was it Bassoon, sorry?
Bassoon had a bit of front wing damage, and Frantic invalidated their lap. Not talking about anything, the other Ferrari, we were just on board with Gilly, we're on with the Ferrari of Benjamin now, who is on what is probably going to be their final lap, really trying to get everything they can track distance wise as they ride the curve on the inside at turn 3. I forgot what I was going to say now. Vinyl Cookie retiring a little bit prematurely, so I'm not really sure what their strategy is there. Maybe they're happy with P11, I don't quite know. We'll have to wait and see how it goes later on. Now, Benjamin, as they're going to head down towards the third sector, I want to know what's going to happen here. That is Gilly moving out the way of these guys, going to give his teammate a slipstream. The Alpine's also looking to try and do something. That's a purple sector there for Benjamin in Sector 2. Sector 3, he will get that lovely slipstream on that final corner. They got to be careful that they don't get impeded here by the Alpine. They're going to get impeded by the Alpine. The Alpine was completely in the way, caught sleeping. They just weren't focused. Benjamin does get a little bit distracted by that. He's going to be furious. That was very, very... I'm just going to say it, poor planning there for the Alpine drivers. They should have been more aware of that, and unfortunately that's going to be pretty much a penalty for Robbo before the race has even started. So such a shame, both sides of the story, because that's a penalty that we don't want to have to give, but that's now Benjamin not going to be able to improve. That will be a P6 or lower for him. Yeah,
Benjamin on a really good lap there. The Gilly, he really done well trying to give Ben it's a slipstream. Really, Ferrari strategy, which was actually perfected unlike 2013, if you know, you know. And then Robbo was just maybe a misunderstanding of the situation. I think he knew that Gilly wasn't on a lap, but maybe wasn't expecting Ben. I'm not too sure, however. You can't be making those mistakes, especially in a qualifying session like this.
Yeah, and that is invalidations all round for the Alpine team. That's also a controller issue, which means that I cannot go the correct way around the grid with the controller. I do apologise, now I can. Mizzy is currently in P4. They haven't invalidated, now they have, so that is going to be no improvements for anybody. Bassoon takes pole position. That's going to be Frantic in P2. Gilly in P3. We'll have Mizzy in P4. Cohen manages to just about hold on to a P5. That's absolutely incredible. Then we have, of course, Benjamin, Robbo, Dave Raptors, and Larlock just behind. Let's have a look at the grid that we will be ready to go with for the race. It's going to be a crazy one. Waiting for that. There you go. Bassoon is on pole position, Frantic in P2, and then Gilly in P3. This is the rest of the grid, just in case we need to check it out later on. And then we'll skim through the race director as well, just in case. Of course, onto the incidents. And then we'll be back for the race. We'll see you in a bit. Ready, hold, go! Who's going to get it into turn one? A phenomenal start there from Frantic, but no, makes a mistake, and that allows Pursuit to get back into the lead. Here we go with the Mercedes. Cohen as well, trying to get into it, but he can't just about. No, the Mercedes makes a mistake. The 3 wide. Pursuit just has to back off and give up. That's an Alpine going off the circuits. They try and avoid the carnage. There's a couple of cars off. Unfortunately, that's Gibby making a mistake, but what a way to start the race. Mizzy up into P1. Aggressive, he's just about done it. Frantic tries to get the position back, but they've gone off the circuit, and Cohen is in P2 after just a sector. Absolutely amazing. Frantic down to P3. Pursoon going from pole position to P4. We've got Gilly stuck in P5 at the moment. Vinyl Cookie up into P6. Amazing start from him. Can't find a way through the Ferrari just yet, but they might have another opportunity shortly. Benjamin behind Larlock at the moment. We got the other Red Bull in P9, and we got Dave Raptors, Heitler, Robbo, Meal Deal, Matthew. This is Phil. Gibby out. Powers and Gilly losing positions.
Gilly lost it on a scar, and he's lost a bit of his front wing, and I'm going to guess he needs to make a pit stop on that hard tyre. He's going to have absolutely no grip whatsoever, and you can see it, it's gone off wide and he cannot keep control of the car. But yeah, oh no, Ben's round. Ben's also round. Both Ferraris have spun it on the first lap, made mistakes, and that's it really. Both Ferraris down to the back of the grid.
Oh, such a shame, such a shame.
And Cohen just made contact with Mizzy.
Big mistake from Cohen right there, and that's also Frantic getting slightly affected. That's going to ruin his run. Pursoon might want to have a look, but no, he's going to back off for now. But that was an interesting situation. He tried to take avoiding action, still made the contact. It might be a tiny bit of damage if he's not careful. You never really know with this game, unfortunately. But it is what it is for now. He's just got to focus on himself. Pretty crazy start to this race. Both Ferraris at their home turf not having the best start to the Grand Prix either. Lap 2 of the 27, they still got a long way to go. Mizzy all of a sudden finds an opportunity to break away. Cohen maybe has damage, or Mizzy's just ERS burning. I don't quite know, but yeah, he's got a lot of understeer. A lot of understeer does Cohen.
Yeah, Cohen's got a lot of issues, it seems like, and the hard runners are even catching up to him. Frantic, he's got not much ERS left, as you can tell by the steering wheel, and you see it light up in green, which means he's using the deployment into Parabolica. And he's going to leave him quite a lot of space, being respectful, but he's left him too much space, and he's washed out wide, and now he's going to be under pressure from the second. Oh no, he's in the pits! So yeah, he might have that damage to his front wing, so maybe Cohen running into the back of Mizzy was the fatal misunderstanding from Cohen, and he's in the pits now.
Absolutely crazy. We've got a lot going on here with the Red Bulls as the Alpine looked like they were trying to defend, then they weren't, then they're trying to attack, I don't quite know. But Larlock has to slot in behind. They've also got Heitler, who's going to be just trying to keep calm. They don't need to take any risks. They are a higher tier driver. But yes, that is Larlock. Currently running in P7 as they try to have a look at the Alpine. The Alpine of Dave Raptors wants to get through on Zora, but Zora doing a phenomenal job in P5 at the moment. Brilliant stuff from them. This is Vale struggling to get through the grid right now as they follow Heitler as best they can. He started at the back of the grid, retiring early without setting a lap time. Robbo, I'm a bit confused at what's happened here. That is actually the Mercedes and also Meal Deal Matty making a mistake. Robbo, I'm confused. They went off the circuit at turn 1. They got themselves a penalty for doing so as they cut the corners. They've lost so much ground by doing so, and I don't know if there's been any further issues or not.
Heitler making the move around the outside of Larlock, coming just before into the last corner. He got a great run on those hard tyres. There's no way the mediums are going off already, so maybe Larlock just struggling a little bit. But coming onto the straight now, he's going to be using that battery. He's going to close up to Heitler once again. Heitler looks like he's using his battery to defend, however, and into turn 1, he's going to go right around the outside. He should have the grip on the superior tyre. Heitler keeps it nice and pinned to the left-hand side, the right-hand side of the track, and it's a safety car out for Alfie's stricken car, which is at the second chicane.
Absolutely crucial. That's where he crashed in qualifying as well. So really struggling with that corner. That is unfortunately their race done. Is now going to bunch the grid up completely, and it's going to allow everybody to catch back up. This guy, Cohen, he's going to be able to go for another pit stop. He's getting another wing change, and he's on the medium tyre. The medium tyre, that's not going to go to the end. If you were on the medium tyre, starting on the medium tyre, you could go to the hards, and you could, in theory, thingy, maybe, I don't know, get to the end. But it's still going to be a long way to go if you are going to try and do that.
That's a wacky strategy, that's for sure. Especially if you're starting on the medium tyres, which I'm pretty sure some of these guys were. So maybe
it's too early. Maybe it's too early to do anything. We've got Mizzy leading the way on the medium tyre.
That is true. Mizzy is leading on the medium tyre. I don't presume he'd pit onto another set of mediums. And if he were to pit, it would be onto hards. Let's see, is he going to be tempted? He's not. The AlphaTauri of Frantic, however, is diving into the pits with his teammate. Final Cookie looking for a move into the pit lane. Maybe trying to be a little bit cheeky there, but he can't make it ahead of him. So into the pits, about 4 or 5 people go. Final Cookie's going to benefit massively at this. He was on the soft tyre, remember? Made up a lot of positions, and now he's going to pit onto the mediums. Presumably going to the end?
Or is it a double? Or are they going medium soft? No, they can't go for a soft. It has to be a double medium, no?
A double medium, or he's crazy to try it to the end.
I don't think it's physically possible to run to the end. We saw it back in last season in the F1 tier. We had a couple punctures as they tried their best to go as long as they could. We're in a similar situation as we are in now. So it would be not possible to do so. Mizzy currently loving life as they now have Zora right behind them. They also have Heisler, who should show some good pace, and if they can get in between themselves and the rest of the grid, and of course Heisler doesn't need to risk anything. Mizzy doesn't need to worry if he lets them go or not. He can try and use this to his advantage. The question is, will it actually happen? This is Vale all of a sudden has been catapulted up the order and back into this race. Cohen is going for another pit stop. They're at the back of the grid, but it looks like they won't have to go for another pit stop again in this race. Why have they gone for another set of mediums?
Cohen, you said. I can't quite wrap my head around that.
Okay, so that's an interesting situation. We're going to look at the grid order. 13 positions made by Heisler, so brilliant job from him. That's 10 for This Is Vale as a current tier driver. Then we look at the pit stops. So 3 pit stops from Cohen already, 2 from Gilly, 1 from Dave Raptors, also 1 from Bassoon, Vinyl Cookie and Frantic, of course, as they just made theirs recently. That's a 3-second to Robbo. So I don't know if they actually got a penalty for cutting the first chicane, or if that's a track limit extension. It would suggest that that's actually a track limit extension. So that does mean that Robbo's probably just got that time penalty regardless.
As off topic to the Robbo situation, however, Dave Raptors has pitted for a medium tyre, and he's going to be racing Kelly out the pit lane in the turn 1. Let's see what happens here. I think Dave Raptors might just have this Gilly into turn 1, and he's gone straight on. Trying his best Sebastian Vettel impression there, but it hasn't quite worked out.
Tried his best. It was worth a shot, but he overestimated the abilities of the car, unfortunately. That does, in the end, well, I say lose him a position. Might not have had it anyway, so he just tried to give it his best shot. So no big deal. Catch up to the grid, and I don't think we'd be going racing this lap because Cohen's not caught up yet. I wouldn't put it past the game, though. I wouldn't put it past the game because we are close to going in. We are close to having the grid bunched up, I should say. So you never know. The game might just decide to put us in. I think by the time that's decided, we'll be around about the apex of turn 11. So once we pass the apex, that should be decided, and we should be good. There you go. All right. I don't think we're going to be going into the pit lane then. So that's good news that the game's decided to do what it should do.
Well, you may think that, but I'll let it go racing.
Fair enough. Fair enough. Mizzy leads the way on that medium tyre. They've got Zora on the same strategy. Heisler going for the longer game on the harder tyre, superior strategy. Then we got Larlick. This is Vale. Both on that medium. Robbo, Benjamin on hard. Medium tyre for Gibby. Then we have the pit stop guys. That's not like a band. It's just these guys have made pit stops. Frantic is currently in P9 and they're leading in theory. They have a lot of cars up ahead of them. They also have the other Mercedes who might want to try and give their teammate a little bit of an advantage. They are on medium tyres, 6 lap old. It's going to be 7 lap old medium tyres when they're going to try and stay ahead. So they're not exactly new, but they're not exactly old either. So they should be good to fight for the first opening laps of the safety car restart, of course. Gilly is in a good position. They're on that hard tyre. They're not going to, in theory, need to go to the end. It's just whether they can make it to the end.
Yeah, Gilly, I believe he can. Medium tyres actually don't wear up as much as you would have thought. So I think hard tyres should actually make it to the end quite easily, I'd say. But we're coming to the first sector now. Everyone's bunched up. What's stopping the game for saying let's race? Yeah, okay, there we go.
Nothing. Just the sector line. We're now going to be racing again at Monza. This time it's not a standing start, it's a rolling start, if you like. Mizzy's going to be the one to set the grid. They're going to be... Zora's going to be the one to react. He's in a very, very good position. He's got to make sure that he stays behind, but also doesn't reacts so late that he ends up causing problems behind. That is always a bit of an issue around a circuit like this. Mizzy's got to make sure he also commits to his restart. When will he go for the safety car restart? I think he might have gone for it. He's gone for it. He's gone for it just about. Zora reacts surprisingly well despite weaving their tyres. That's Heisler not reacting so well. Will actually Zora try and go for a move? No, they will not be able to go for a move, but that is a brilliant restart there for Mizzy. Zora right behind him. Heisler splitting the grid a little bit. No one else really making any moves, but there's contact. There's contact. Who was that? That was Heisler and someone else. Larlick, it seems. Larlick right behind. Outbrakes himself, loses position. Down to P8. That minor mistake is absolutely costly. Amazing stuff from Benjamin as he makes more positions now right off the bat. Perfect stuff. That's 2 cars going off the circuit. Alfa Romeo, if this is Vale, somebody else also went off the circuit. I don't know who that was. We've got lots of people switching around at the back. Vinyl Cookie also having issues.
Yeah, Emilio Matti had to let he's in the wall! He tried to let through, I believe it was either Pursuit or Dave Raptors, and there's more carbon fibre, there's so much going on that we can't even keep up with it. Matty tried to let someone go, it's now Frantic is making an overtake on Vale, who has about like half a front wing actually, I didn't realise that. So that must have been the carbon fibre who's flying off a couple of seconds ago, and now he's going to get put under pressure from the other AlphaTauri. These guys are on a comeback mission and a half, and they need to start overtaking now, which they are doing, on one of the freshest tyres on the grids. I believe that these guys have everything they can to win. But for now, it's you just have to take it nice and steady and keep their nose out of trouble, unlike some others.
Crucially, they've stayed out of trouble, as you're saying, so they're good to go. Another pit stop from Cohen as he goes and gets a 5-second time penalty. So looks like he's going for another front wing change, unfortunately for him. That is not how we want it to go. Mizzy in P1 at the moment. We've got Zora sat in P2. They've absolutely blasted their ERS. They go purple in the first sector, no surprise there. They got nothing left to push though, and that is probably going to be Mizzy gone. Heisler not exactly able to push too hard with the hard tyres at the moment as they get very loosey-goosey on the curb. Raptors, Robbo is going to have a very nice opportunity at making a move. Heisler's still going to try and challenge it on the inside. There's hardly any space, and that is a phenomenal overtake there from Robbo. Perfect execution. He's got through. He's not wasting any time. They're on the same tyre as well. So going around the outside at Ascari on a hard tyre is not something that you see every day.
Yeah, that was absolutely inch perfect from Robbo. Heisler looks to be struggling. Has he got damage? I don't believe so. I think he was just struggling to get the nose turned in there as DRS will be enabled, but not for Zora. He's far too far behind. He's got no battery left. So Mizzy's going to be able to pull away, and now Zora's going to be under threat from Robbo on those hard tyres. So this is looking dire for the Red Bull driver.
He's only going to get quicker on that hard tyre as well as the changeover phase grip-wise will happen. He's catching so quickly. Zora is in big trouble. He goes interestingly defensive, even though Robbo is way too far behind to make any kind of move. Goes on the curve, almost loses the car, keeps it safe for now. That's Benjamin making a move on Heisler. Heisler can't find a way through. They must have some sort of damage, but the only contact that they had earlier in this race was on the rear, so unless they were pushed into somebody ahead, I don't quite know what's going on. That is Gibby retiring from the session. Oh dear. On the exit of the second Lesmos, that's going to be another safety car. What a shame for Robbo, who wanted to make a move, and also Frantic, who was sizing up a move on Heisler.
Well, this is perfect for the medium runners who haven't made a stop, as of Mizzy and Zora. However, they're going to be absolutely miles behind. And by miles behind, I mean they're going to be quite... where are they going to emerge? What, P10? Maybe P11? They've got such a gap to Cone in that, which these guys don't need to make a stop again. However, they will be at the back. So people who haven't made a stop yet are going to come in, people in the hard tyres too, which leads Heisler to lead, which I wasn't expecting.
So he doesn't have a problem, he's just got bad tyres.
Everyone's in. It's the two AlphaTauris, 2 and 3, Vinyl Cookie on that alternate strategy after the first safety car up to P4. And well, Mizzy's going to go at P5 and Robbo P6, so these guys are in a good shot of a win, and I'd say Robbo, even with that penalty and potentially more, he's got a good chance of salvaging something.
Yeah, he sure has. He's in a very good position, although I would say Mizzy's in the more straightforward position.
Speaking of straightforward position, Zora was nearly not in a straightforward position as he lost the back end on those full tyres, even like 70 mile an hour. Crawling pace for these F1 cars that you can spin easily. It's not easy on those full tyres.
Yeah. Something I do want to mention. I don't think Cone's just made a recent pit stop. I reckon by the end of this lap, he's going to go into the pit lane. He'll have slightly fresher tyres compared to if he went for a pit stop the lap before. Also, he can serve the time penalty that he's currently got. So yeah. Cohen is going to have a very nice opportunity to get rid of that time penalty, otherwise it can be very damaging later on. If we get another late safety car, it would bunch everybody up and be impossible to get a good position. Not impossible, but it would make it very difficult. I don't know if anybody's going to be making any secondary pit stops or if that's going to be it, other than Curran. Larlock, I don't think that's a speeding time penalty, so I don't think they would have a reason to do so. Something that I am interested in is Gilly decided to go into the pit lane, not stay out.
Oh, yeah, Gilly has to go into the pit lane. I mean, fresh medium tyres over... How many people are in the hard tyres? 5, 6, 7? Oh, it's Benjamin. Oh, God, give me a moment. Wow. Ben nearly just ran right into the back of Zora. That was a jump scare and a half.
Okay, so did somebody just lose a position there?
No, what happened was Ben was behind. They all slowed down. Ben wasn't anticipating it, and then nearly went right into the back of Zora. And I will not say that other thing I said a few seasons ago.
Copy. Alrighty, that is that one done. We've got Meal Deal Matty, who is rather close to the cars ahead. Got to be careful with that. Cohen's decided to not go into the pit lane. Maybe he's confident that there's going to be another safety car and there's no point him actually doing anything. At this stage, he doesn't look too far from predicting the truth. We'll have to wait and see. This is Vel made a recent pit stop. We will be most likely going racing once again by the end of this lap, and this is Vel will do enough to catch up, and their tyres should be somewhat warmed as they push on this in-lap. Just waiting for the confirmation. It's gonna be later. You can see the cars at the front are warming up their tyres slightly, not too much because they haven't got the definite confirmation, but I am telling you, it's surely gonna come in this lap. It's not gonna do what people think it is. They need to warm up their tyres, otherwise they're gonna be regretting the decisions. There you go.
Oh, he's done it.
There you go. It's just the way it works. There's a secondary delta line or something. I don't know. That is not looking ideal, that traffic jam. The grid is completely bunched up. Heischler's going to be the one to go for it, and that is going to be Frantic who will react. Heischler's on the inside line, which is probably not the best place to go for a safety car restart. Frantic needs to be careful how close he gets. Heischler waiting. He's still not gone for it, leaving it so late. And he's slowly gaining the speed. Now he's gone for it, but no! He loses the car. That was a big threat, but no, he just about keeps it together. Frantic not getting the best start either. It forces Bassoon to go defensive on Vinyl Cookie. Vinyl Cookie to the inside, and he's missed his braking point. The two teammates collide. I do not believe it. That's Robbo trying to go around the outside of Mizzy as he takes advantage of these medium tyres, but he can't quite get through. No, he is going to get through. Mizzy, probably the best opportunity is to back off right now and avoid any unnecessary carnage. Absolutely incredible. Bassoon switches positions with Frantic as they had a bit of a squirmy battle just a minute ago. Heischler manages to escape these guys. There's more overtakes going on in the background. Dave Raptor's trying to make positions as well.
Yeah, Heischler had a bit of a squirmy start, but he managed to pull away 9-10. So Budo and Matty also making up a few positions, I believe, making a move into the second chicane and onto the back straight now as we see Robbo onto the grass as he tries to overtake Vinyl Cookie, who gets himself a 3-second time penalty for exceeding track limits, which is not ideal, especially when not many people have them. Dave Raptors is putting under a lot. Oh wait, never mind. Ben's coming after Dave Raptors with the absolutely insane straight line speed. He's going to go down the inside. He's on the better tyre. He's definitely going to make it work. And now he's going to go after Zora onto the straight now. He's not going to use a battery, is he? Yep, you can see the light has turned green, which means he's going to push for the position into turn 1 now. He's on the better tyre, which means he can brake so much later. In the background, Mildew Matty also looking for a move on Dave Raptors into turn 1. They're both going for it. Ben's going to go around the outside, which is a better line, especially on the better tyre. Ben's made the move stick. He's absolutely gone. Matty is still up the inside of Dave Raptors, but he cannot make the position up thus far.
Yeah, it's very difficult to do so when you have other cars so close as well. On board with Matty as he looks for it, but backs off. That Zora forcing Benjamin to take a very awkward line. Can't make use of a switchback though. He just misses out on it, and that forces Robbo to get a slightly worse run. Meanwhile, Gilly Cohen all have gained a lot on this. Oh no, and that's Benjamin round. I don't believe it. I do not believe it. The chaos has got too much, and he does lose it. Zora is not going to be able to defend. The battery is gone. Dave Raptors very shortly will be able to have a nice and easy maneuver very soon.
Robbo going down the inside of Vinyl Cookie, but he uses a bit of VRS. Robbo still sends it going onto the grass, nearly understeering into the side of Vinyl Cookie's car, which would have ended very bad for Robbo. His contact model would have left him in the mud. In a literal sense, he would have been on the grass. And into turn 1 now, you can see Vinyl Cookie's light flashing, which means he has under 10%. Dave Raptor's also going for a move on Zora, and into turn 1. So who's went off there? Someone's went off. It's Frantic.
Yeah.
Frantic's went off. And he's got himself a penalty even after slowing down. We'll have to investigate that, of course. But Frantic making a bit of a mistake into turn 1. I don't believe he was punted at all. I can't see any damage in anyone else. So maybe just an error. And that's cost him a couple places, which is not what you need. It's potentially when you're all going to the end. Actually, the high start isn't. But in a race like this where track position is key, you kind of need that. As Mildew Matty looks to have cut the track. Unless I'm just misinterpreting that. But he's made his way up into P8. And it's absolutely chaos, but it's the type of chaos you want to see. Some good battling. And with the DRS now Cohen, I mean, yeah, he's going to shoot past. He got a great exit there. Mildew Matty's going to think better of it, not to fight it, get in slipstream. Maybe some battery and then go for an attack later on, which is probably the smart thing you want to do. Just, remain calm and try and go for it later on. But he needs to watch out for Zora, who's on that hard tyre, a couple laps fresher. So he might be one to watch later on in the race.
For sure, Cohen has managed to make that move. Dave Raptors, in the meantime, has broken away. Now he can focus on himself. Bassoon goes for fastest lap as he now has that clean air. So loving life at the moment. We've got Robbo going for another move. Can he get it done this time, though? He's on the inside line. We have Vinyl Cookie to the outside, now has the inside, slight contact as he tries to keep it together. So close margins between these guys. Now he has the advantage, but on the inside of the corner is Robbo. It's such a slight advantage, but it's enough to give him the position. Is he going to go for another move? No, they're going to have to just lose the position for now and try and side up a move later on. But that is Robbo up on those 5-lap-old mediums. Loving it.
Yeah, Robbo's absolutely flying at the moment. And someone else who's been creeping onto the back of this battle without anyone really noticing is Mizzy. Mizzy on that sort of new hard tyre, which will be better condition him as Robbo's, but he will still be faster, Robbo. Will eventually get better towards the end of the race, and Mizzy is going to be looking like someone who can really challenge this race.
Yeah, a new season, a new era for Mizzy, it seems. He might be able to do very well. And with the position he's in, he is on... No, I'm not going to jinx it. I'm not going to jinx it. Dave Raptors, Meal Deal Matty makes a move on Cohen. Both of these guys are breaking away from the other drivers behind, but Meal Deal Matty's managed to make that move stick. Cohen can't... I don't know what he's doing here. He can't break away. Meal Deal Matty will immediately lose the position on DRS as they're both really low on the ERS. Cohen makes the move. Meal Deal Matty outbrakes himself. There might be contact. No. Cohen recognises it. That is absolutely incredible. Cohen on the survival strategy there has to back out. Otherwise that would have been definite damage. Maybe even a DNF. I don't know.
I want to look at it from this way. That was an absolutely pinpoint perfection move. Cohen had nowhere to go, but it still was fair. As Gilly makes a mistake and loses the position to Zora, and on those fresh medium tyres, this is not what he can afford. Gilly is absolutely... He's not doing well, is he? He really needs to get up the field now, within these next 2-3 laps, otherwise he's going to have issues and might not even get some good points this race. As we see Cohen maybe going for a move on Matty, but he decides to back out. He realises that Matty's got some balls on him and he does not want to mess with him, that's for sure.
Yeah, my bad then. Matty did an absolutely phenomenal move. I was scared, but he managed to just about make it work. That is right on the limit. Gilly can't find a way through just yet. Zora, despite having no ERS, seems to be not too bad in a straight line, which is strange, especially for Gilly, but also Monza, I will say. Once again, Cohen making a move. This time, he's probably going to have to stay to the inside line or go for the move a little bit later on to prevent Matty from going for any kind of send. Otherwise, he's going to be in big trouble. So, no, there's contact. Matty tried to stay with him. He tried to keep his nose in. It hasn't worked out. Cohen loses the position. Matty, that's going to be investigated. We'll have to see later on. Something that I do want to look at right now is the lead drivers, as Hyde just managed to make the position back.
Well,
I don't know how that's happened. He's managed to make the position back. Yes, Bassoon's tyres are pretty old, and he's probably going to have to consider a pit stop. Robbo in P3. They've made that move on Frantic, but they're still close in the DRS, so that could be interesting. Mizzy's got to hope that these guys fight sooner rather than later. He's also got Vinyl Cookies pretty close, but only going to get slower from here. So Mizzy's loving this. They just need to hope that the other guys get into some spicy action. Dave Raptors on his own. I say that, he does have Vinyl Cookie right there as well. So he's in a pretty good position. Meal Deal Matty sits in P8. Gilly is in the DRS. So now he's going to form a different kind of train as Zora loses the position to a couple cars there.
Just quickly, by using all 4 of my brain cells, I've came up with the conclusion that High Shot, of course, needs to pit. The two Alpha
Didn't
Towers
have
needs to
enough brain
pit.
cells left.
No. The 2 Alpha Towers need to pit, right? Well, maybe. But look, I mean, you can't see the percentage, right? You can't see it. We can. It's unless we had the telemetry. I don't know what telemetry it is. As he makes a mistake, proving my point that his tyres are going to go off. Mizzy's going to go to the end. They're going to be faster towards the end of the race when they come in for their stops if they decide to do so. If not, they're risking punctures. But by the time they do pit or decide to stay out, Mizzy's going to be at least half a second a lot faster, if not more. So what excuse me, what they need to do is, around about now, go into a soft tyre, utilise it the most they can, and either push really hard and somehow catch Mizzy, or hope for a safety car and stay out. But honestly, I can't see how way this wins out in well for the AlphaTauris. I'm sorry.
Yeah, I want to say, a circuit like he's going into pit lane. A circuit like this, even if the tyres are dead, you can gain from a DRS train, of course. So that's something that could be considered. But there's the first pit stop. The second pit stop immediately is frantic, despite them both having to pit on the same lap. So yeah, that's a strange one. That is going to lose Frantic a lot of time and potentially a position to maybe Robbo. Robbo is going to be going to the... No, never mind. They might be going to the end of this race. Heisler has to make a pit stop at some point. That's a yellow. Who's that?
Gilly, yet again, trying his best to do Sebastian Vettel impression. This time it's ended up with a 5-second penalty, a loss of the positions, and under pressure now from the Red Bull of Zora, who still has no battery. I think that's a bit of an issue there. He needs to charge his battery up if he wants to have a chance at Gilly, but Gilly's gone already. He's got a lot of grip, but he keeps on making mistakes. This is what's been wrong with Gilly today. He just can't seem to find a rhythm that he's so usually in, and that's why he's not been doing so well. However, I did say Ferrari aren't in a good shout of points. However, if say these two battle up ahead, these guys, Neil Damati and Cohen, they both have penalties. So my prediction is, if these guys can work together, that the Ferraris might be able to actually salvage something from this race after doing them earlier on.
I know Bassoon, Vinyl Cooking and Frantic have all just made pit stops, but somehow Ben goes from at the back of the grid now to the mid-pack looking at points. It's just... it's amazing. It just happens all the time. It's incredible. Gilly is within DRS range of his teammate, so that's crucial. Benjamin's going to have to try his best to catch up to Cohen while he can on these tyres. That is Larlock on his teammate, the inside lines, or having to back off. He's got nothing to fight with that ERS, but he's fooled himself as he makes a terrible, terrible mistake. Bit of contact as Zora gets a bit excited on the throttle, loses a little bit. Once again, Larlock comes back again to the inside line. Is this going to be it? I think it might be. That is the position gained. As long as he doesn't understeer and go off the circuit, he will take it, but he won't. Goes off the circuit. Larlock has got a lot of work to do now. That is absolutely incredible. I do not believe it. That
was very smart from Zora. He took his time and just decided to pick out his moment, and he's done it. He's now back up into P9, battling his own teammate. Did he make a mistake? No, sorry, I'm being a bit silly. As all my days up the inside goes Cohen on Bildu Mati. He forces him off track. Mati's going to have a very compromised run. Now he's lost the back end. He somehow kept it in a straight line. I don't know how he's done that. Now Benjamin in the Ferrari is going to look to go down the inside of the McLaren of Bildu Mati. This is a battle we've seen before in F1, I'm sure. This is great stuff. And now onto the straight. Ben didn't really seem to get a good run, but in the second phase, when he's got a bit more battery, he's using it to his advantage, and very close to that McLaren, he's going to get a lot of slipstream, which makes the car much faster than the straight. And into turn one, is he going to go for a move? Mati goes a bit wide, but he defends it very well. That is impressive from Mati to keep the car in a straight line and keep it right in front of Ben, and he can't make a move now unless he's got a lot more battery, and it looks like he's got a lot of straight line speed. So into turn 4 now, he's forced him onto the grass a little bit, wow! And Ben's still going to go up the inside, a bit of contact is made, but he's made the position up, and now Gilly's going to go off the track because Matty lost the back end, and he had to take avoiding action. Wow, that was a bit insane, wasn't it?
Oh, Matty really loosey-goosey on the rear. A lot just happened there. Once again, showcasing his braking skills is Emil Diamati, doing what Daniel Ricciardo could not do in that McLaren. So really, really well done. I mean, I guess Monza he could do it, but not in the 2022 car. That is Benjamin up into P6. It looks more and more likely that they are going to try and go all the way to the end. So currently a P6 position. That's amazing. AlphaTauri, Haas, they've had big, big problems with their pit stop strategy. Heisler as well. I don't think that was the right opportunity to stay out for as long as he did. Hats off to him to be able to do that. Absolutely incredible. I do want to quickly consider something. I know Robbo has that time penalty, but a 3.4 second gap, would that be enough to stay ahead?
Yes, because the penalty's 3 seconds.
No, but would it
Oh
be
wait, no, it's
enough?
6. It's 6.
Okay, so Mizzy's in the lead anyway.
Oh, I don't know where he got the setting for you. I actually cannot remember that. But Mizzy, all he needs to do now is just keep it in a straight line. Doesn't even need to go that fast. He can go a couple of times slower lap, and just don't relax because you might lose concentration. But just keep focused and drive to a consistent pace. And he's not doing. He's actually gaining a bit on Rubble, so he is still.
He
pushing.
isn't an Alpine sandwich though.
He's on fresher tyres than Dave Raptor.
Yeah, fair enough.
And it looks as though he's got a lot more battery. So this is looking ever more likely like him as AW.
Yeah, I'm not going to talk about it too much once again, otherwise it could go horribly wrong. Back to the battles that we have currently. The closest cars is actually the Red Bulls. I was going to go on board with the McLaren, but that was almost an attempt at an overtake by Zora into Ascari. It would have been a very late lunge. He does decide to back out of it. That's also going to be Heisler, who wants to have a go very, very soon. He spent a lot of time on his own, and he has a lot of battery to use and a lot of grip as well. Already makes the move to Parabolica. He's going to get DRS anyway on that Red Bull. Back to these guys, as that is Gilly trying their best to make the move. Mil Diomati is going to go back at it again. Outbreaks himself this time. Surely he's got off the circuit. He does. That's going to be Gilly. Gilly is going to go through. No question about it. He will take that position. Mil Diomati just has to make sure he doesn't lose the position to Pursoon. Heisler made that move on Larlux, so phenomenal stuff. Taking full advantage of these soft tyres. Pursoon is right in the battle with Mil Diomati and Gilly.
Yeah, Gilly, he thought about it and just let Mil Diomati do his own thing. He went a bit too wide that time. Maybe the tyres are starting to go off a bit more, but now he's got Pursoon right up behind him, and Pursoon remembers on those fresh medium tyres, so he's going to be absolutely flying. However, Mati, I think, has more battery on him. So if he just uses a bit of sprinkle battery there, he's going to go to the sides, Pursoon is. He's going to have a lot more grip. He dips him into the grass and he's going wide. Matty is entitled to close the door on him. But not like that. Oh dear, and Pursoon's round, and any shot of a good points position is now just spun away from him, and that's him without a front wing now. That's unfortunate. He was looking for a good point result. A 1-2 for AlphaTauri is quickly turned into depression and despair. That's one way to put it.
That is accident waiting to happen. That's also Mil Diomati making a mistake, getting way too involved in all of this, and he's also had to suffer. This is Vel all of a sudden now into P13. That's actually P12, of course, because of Heisler, who is a higher tier driver. Once again, the Red Bulls are going to be in their own battle. Heisler's going to want to try and go for a move on the Ferraris at some point into this race, although it doesn't really matter for him right now. Pursoon goes into the pit lane. Maybe looking at a fastest lap here. Don't quite know. Robbo leads the way. They gained about a tenth on that last lap, then they lost it immediately. The two Ferraris are currently on to score 18 points, despite having such a terrible race. That is absolutely incredible. 18 points for Ferrari would be insane, and a lot better than what they saw Ferrari do last season in Monza. They had no points scored last season in Monza. We have still Larlach and Zora. They've been going at it the entire race. This time, though, they don't have any ERS between them, so they've got a lot of work to do. Lap 26 out of 27 they are about to start, so yeah, all the pressure is on them right now. Frantic the lead AlphaTauri, it's all changed up in the last few laps. Mil Diomati getting himself a time penalty. Vinyl Cookie is in the points, of course, because of Heisler, so everything's switching up, and Robbo has gained 2 tenths. 3.
Yeah, Robbo's pulling away, and he's doing quite well, but it's not going to be enough at this rate to win the race. Mizzy, all he needs to do again is just keep calm, which he's not done. He's made a bit of a mistake. The gap's going to show up to about 4.5 seconds, I would presume so, around about 4.4, yeah, around about that margin. So Mizzy, he just needs to calm down. 1.6 seconds he needs to lose on this last lap, and well, I'm not saying he should, I'm saying that's the margin if he wants to, well, if Robbo wants to win the race, he should gain 1.6 seconds, I should say. It's Mil Diomati and Vale having a bit of a scruffy battle for the fringes of, well, the back of the pack for the wooden spoon, minus Pursoon, of course, that kind of rhymed. But anyway, on to the last lap now. Robbo 4.4 ahead of Mizzy, however. I mean, it looks as though he's fast on the straight, so maybe Mizzy has a higher downforce setup, because I've noticed out of some corners he's able to just get a lot of traction and then lose it all in the straight. But last lap now, and it's only 4.5.
Yeah, lovely stuff. We also have Benjamin, who has just done enough to get that DRS of Cohen. They've got 1 lap to try and execute it, no ERS. Cohen is in a very good position at the moment because the gap is big enough. He's just got 1 more straight to navigate, and he will take a P4, which isn't going to be too bad after the race they've had. Benjamin loses the rear. That's probably going to be that decided. What a shame there for Benjamin. 1 mistake, and it's gone. Frantic splitting the 2 Red Bulls. He wants to try and get past the other sister team car. Is it going to be at all possible? I don't quite know. I don't know what the time penalties are for all of these drivers. It could change very, very quickly. We'll have to wait and see. I don't know. I don't know what's going to happen. Pursoon is going to go for a fastest lap. Back to the front runners, though. Robbo is very, very far ahead. Currently not doing enough, though. The Alpines have drove absolutely mightily today. It's not quite worked out. Just a little bit too aggressive on those track limits. We've got Robbo, who will come around the final. Oh, no, no, no. That's going to be Benjamin through. Benjamin will get that position. Phenomenal stuff. Robbo starts the season off with a win, but Mizzy will get it on time penalties. Mizzy wins the Italian Grand Prix. Robbo P2. Dave Raptors will take a P3, a double podium for Alpine, and Benjamin is going to go from the back of the grid all the way to P4. Amazing. Amazing stuff. Cohen takes a P5. Well, he started this race. Heichler does get P6 in the end. Ahead of Gilly P7. Larlock will take the position just ahead of Frantic. Amazing driving between the Red Bulls today. Frantic P9, Zora P10, Vinyl Cookie, Meal Deal Matty is going to take a P12 after that. They get the position just about, and this is Vel getting it on time penalties anyway. Pursoon will proceed to go for a fastest lap here. Absolutely incredible. Mizzy wins the Italian Grand Prix, and they are the championship leader.
That is some way to start off a season. That race was absolutely fantastic, I must say. Some of the racing I saw there was, must I say, better than F1 at times.
It was very exciting, that's for sure. Absolutely incredible. Well done to Mizzy. That is the way they want to start the season after some very, very tough races. Robbo goes to get driver of the day. Very well done to him as well. It was a crazy strategy with all those safety cars, but they managed to just about get it right. It's just a shame that they had those little technical details with the track limits. Just waiting for those results, and then we'll head off to the interviews, of course. Mizzy is going to take their first ever win in LSI history. Amazing job. Well done. That is Mercedes on top as well. Mizzy takes the win. We got Robbo in P2, Dave Raptors in P3, Benjamin, Cohen, Heichler, Gilly, Larlock, Frantic, Zora, Vinyl Cookie, this is Vel, Meal Deal Matty, and then Pursoon finishing off the grid with the fastest lap. Then we have Gibby and Alfie, of course, DNFing earlier on in this race. I will go through the race director just in case we need to check it out later on. It's Monza, we probably will. I will be honest, and of course on to the pit stops just in case as well. And then we'll be back for the post-race interviews. We will see you in a bit. Hello everyone and welcome back to LSI F1.5 Championship. We're today for the post-race interviews of the Italian Grand Prix. That was absolutely crazy. We start the interviews with Heisler. You were leading for most of the race. The strategy was interesting. Didn't want to go for a pit stop after the couple of safety cars.
The first safety car. To be honest, both safety cars, I thought too many people were pitting in front of me, so I thought, nah, I'm not gonna pit. I choose track position, and I did that twice. Maybe the second time I should have pitted, not sure, but I thought I'm gonna try to go as long as possible on the hards. Kinda do Albon in Australia. I could have even finished on those hards, it was still fine, and yeah, it was a fun strategy to be honest, and still from last to P6, I believe.
So you happy with that result?
Yeah, I didn't spin. Only safety cars ruined kinda me being further up. So yeah, I'm happy with it.
Yeah, it's a good improvement. So really well done there. Austria, do you think you can do well there?
Yeah, I think I'm quite strong there, so I think I can have a nice race there as well.
Awesome. I hope we can see you maybe have a better strategy with the safety cars not causing so many problems. Really well done today. One last question. How would you describe your race in 3 words?
I do Albon.
Thank you very much. We'll see you next time. Well done today.
Thank you.
And we move on to Robbo. Robbo, absolutely incredible. You were doing very, very well. Unfortunately, time penalties aren't looking ideal. I know there may be some questions, but can you take us through that race?
Yeah, it was honestly a bit of a mad race, I think, for everyone. Turn 1 was obviously crazy, as it always is in Monza, so I decided to take the escape road. Got a questionable penalty, but we'll look at that another time. It was going all right. Get ahead of Mio Deal, Matty, and then get spun out into turn 1. So it was a bit of a, regain some time, get into DRS, because I was on hards anyways. Then there was a safety car. Couldn't pit on that, but gained a lot of positions because it seemed like everyone had damage from turn 1 and the first few laps. So I think like half the grid pitted, which was a bit crazy. Then another safety car down the line led me into net P2, I think. Everyone else had to pit. Was able to get ahead of Mizzy on the safety car restart, which was quite fortunate. And from then I was just able to keep a gap, which, worked out really well from being near the back of the grid. I'm happy with the podium. Couldn't have gone much better.
Yeah, really well done. Double for Alpine, regardless of what happens later on. But that is a brilliant way to start the season. That's Alpine on top in the constructors. Austria, do you feel like you can do well there?
Yeah, I think so. Austria is always a track that I've been decent at. I know Dave's fast at Austria, which will be good for Alpine for the constructors. So it'll be an interesting race.
Yeah, really well done today. It was absolutely incredible. We'll see you next time. One last question. How would you describe your race in 3 words?
Crazy season opener.
Thank you very much, and we'll see you next time.
Cheers.
And we move on to Benjamin. Ben, how the hell did that happen? So you were pretty much at the back of the grid, and then you've gone and taken, was that a P4?
Organized, man. I've suffered major brain trauma over that race.
Are
with all the
you
crashes.
happy with that result in the end after all the troubles that you had to go through?
Not really. I kind of got stuck in the mid-pack. I was looking for like a P1-2 on the quali. I had 5 tenths going into the last corner and probably mistakenly saw me as Gilly as a red car, so that was lovely. So I kind of saw like P7 or something. So I was just instantly at mid-pack, made a mistake on that one, so I thought I'd be right to the back again. And then I was racing, what's his name? Zora, man, the guy he's just nah. Don't want to run a race him again.
Anyway,
But yeah, I kind of get held up behind him and left my ARS on. And exited the corner and just spun the race and slapped myself into a wall again.
wow.
And then I just sort of driving my way through the pack again. So yeah, not too bad for 78% worn tyres at the end. So I'll take it.
Fair enough, well done. Austria, we've been there recently. Do you think you can do well there?
No, it's a rubbish
Optimism.
track. It's a
Gotta love
rubbish
it.
track.
Well, I mean, we had a pretty crazy race today, so I'll never say never for a good result. Well done in the end. One last question. How would you describe your race in 3 words?
3 spins. Only need 2.
Thank you very much.
Or maybe
We'll see
2,
you
I can't remember.
We'll see you next time. Well done today. And we move on to Dave Raptors. P3 in the end. Lovely podium. Double for Alpine. Are you happy with that one?
Yeah, very much. Me and Rob had a great strategy all race, and we were right at the front for the last stint, which really helped us with points. Like through my race, I didn't really have the pace today, but with the strategy, it helped a lot. I know I came to the pack, and we just did well with strategy and that kind of thing. I'd just say that oh my god, it was so crazy in the first couple of laps with everyone. Everywhere I was having to brake so much on the straights, and people were just like dive bombing and everything. But yeah, other than that, it was a brilliant race, and the strategy worked out really well for both me and Robbo.
Yeah, really well done. It's great to see you getting a good result. Now you're a permanent driver once again, so really well done. Austria, do you think you can do well there?
Yeah, I think it's one of my stronger tracks, other than spinning, which is another story. But you know, if I can just keep the car in a straight line, I'll be fine. I think I've got some decent pace around that track, especially on the exits of corners. So I'm hoping that'll be a positive thing for both me and Robbo.
Yeah, staying out of trouble will be key. Well done today. One last question. How would you describe your race in 3 words?
Great team points.
Well done. We'll see you next time.
Cheers.
We move on to Gibby. Gibby, that's not the way we quite want it to go, unfortunately. Luckily, your teammate's gone and done pretty well to help the constructors. Can you take us through that race?
Yeah, qualifying was just a complete shit show, to be honest. I had like issues on my wheel all the race and
right.
not able to race. I had a good start, but yeah, not a good end, to be honest.
Yeah,
Hopefully
that's
better
disappointing. Do you know what
results
happened?
next-
Do you know what
Just
happened with the wheel?
slid off and yeah.
Oh, okay. Fair enough. Fair enough. Moving on to the next one then. We'll forget about this race. Austria, do you think you can do well there if there's no more problems?
I do like Austria, so I think I will do quite well there, yeah.
Yeah, awesome. I think it's a very strong lineup for Mercedes, and I hope you can have a better race next time. So, one last question. How would you describe your race in 3 words?
Very, very bad.
Thank you very much, and we'll see you next time on today. And we move on to Gilly. Gilly, nice points for Ferrari. Pretty hectic. Managed to sit behind your teammate there. Didn't quite get to Cohen, but are you happy with that result in the end?
Not really.
No?
One point, me and Ben were 1 and 2, but it was the wrong 1 and 2. It was last and second to last. And I somehow survived turn 1. I didn't think I would mid turn 1, but I did. And then I just drove into the wall later on in the lap. So it didn't start off very well.
Fair enough. It seems to be a bit of a Ferrari curse, unfortunately, around Monza. Still, great recovery in the end, and you've scored some very good points. It's not the way you wanted to get it done, but a track that we've been at recently, do you think that will help you get a good result next time? And it's also a circuit that is a bit more downforce based, so if you can go low on the wings, you're going to love that.
I don't really get on with Austria. I always I'm too slow and I can't pass anyone because I can't do turn 1.
It's mostly sound noises. It's a shame.
Yeah.
One last question. How would you describe your race in 3 words?
way too long.
Thank you very much. And we'll see you next time. Well done today.
Thank you.
That's what she said. Awesome. Mizzy, you are the race winner. You've won the Italian Grand Prix. Absolutely amazing. That is the way you want to start the season. After a pretty hard time in the last season, of course. Well done. Can you take us through that race?
Yeah, as you said, hard time last season. I'm very happy to keep it out of the walls this race. Starting P4 on the grid, I was just hoping for a decent points finish, but somehow managed to squeeze through into turn 1, go from P4 to P1, and that safety car was very fortunate. I pitted for hards from the mediums and just kept the pace consistent the whole time. And yeah, I thought I was gonna pit, of course, because his mediums were as old as my hards, but the mediums fall off very quick. So yeah, it was a very intense race, but I'm happy that I could take this win.
Yeah, really well done. I'm very happy for you. Brilliant way to turn it around. Austria, do you think you can do well there?
Oh, it's my favorite track. So I hope I can do well there. Yeah.
Yeah, awesome. You lead the championship now, and we'll see if you can do that again next time. Really well done. One last question. How would you describe your race in 3 words?
Very, very good. Very good.
Thank you very much, and we'll see you next time. Well done today. Very well deserved.
Thank you.
And that's been it for the post-race interviews. Thank you very much for watching. It's been a pleasure. I'll pass you over to Zingy.
Yeah, guys, thank you very much for watching the opening round of the LSI Championship. Join us on Tuesday again. Are we doing open lobbies again, Aaron?
I'm not sure.
We might be doing open lobbies on Tuesday, we might not. Just keep an eye out, just in case we are. Join us on Friday for Austria and the LSI F1 Championship and 1.5 Championship on Saturday evenings. Thank you very much, and we'll see you next time.